Soviet Union believes that it can dominate planet Earth over the next 10 or 12 years. The Soviets have a very strong and tough leader under one Mikhail Gorbachev. Never forget that he was trained under the KGB leader Andropov. The Soviets are great chess players. The Soviets understand how to strategize and play decades in advance, and we in the West tend to usually react on a very short-term basis. They have a strategy, and they are working that strategy, and I'd like to describe to you some of the elements of the Soviet grand strategy. Now, the first element of that grand strategy is a disarmament campaign directed against the West in general and the United States in particular. The Soviets have seduced the United States into a whole series of disarmament treaties, and now President Reagan is being misguided, I believe, into negotiations with the Soviets for still new disarmament. Number 4 began to end in 1959 with the Soviet-backed communist takeover in Cuba, the shooting down of an American U-2, the mass arrest of Soviet dissidents, and the erection of the Berlin Wall. Then came Glasnost number 5. This was from 1970 to 75. The 5th Glasnost was détente.
I believe that it's quite natural for humanity to become polarized along the line of class or wealth, so that you have basically the haves and the have-nots, or we have those in power and those who feel powerless. In my opinion, it is not some grand strategy for an entity such as the former Soviet Union, or perhaps the present-day KGB or Soviet Party, the secret Soviet Party, to take over the world, any more than it is some kind of a secret strategy for the Palestinians to take over, destroy, overrun, subjugate Israel. There's no logic for the hatred that the Palestinians have for the Israelis. It's a feud that's been going on for a long, long time. Nobody knows who shouted first, who shoved first, who struck first, who killed first. It was probably the Palestinians. Over a year ago, I made a video entitled Blowback, the false doctrine of blowback, because it seemed to me that what I would consider America haters were trying to imply that we deserved to be struck on 9/11 because we had mistreated other countries and they were getting even with us. We deserved to be attacked on 9/11, and it was justified by their idea of blowback. Well, such a thing as blowback does occur. It simply means unintended consequences. It doesn't mean that every time anyone is attacked that they deserve it. That's what I was trying to point out. And I don't believe that the United States deserved to be attacked. And I don't believe that the attackers should be justified. But rather than align myself with the hard left or hard right, I really am a moderate, and I've continued to be a moderate as this debate rages between the America haters and those who are in power, and probably, frankly, a lot of the people in the world who have the most power are likely to be Jews. The Jews happen to be a group of people who are well educated, a very stable society and a very exclusive society, very stable, and a group of people who are motivated to acquire and to keep wealth and power. We're all different. Jews are probably not the best basketball players. I don't know. But basketball players are probably not the best at making money in the stock market by speculating. Computer nerds probably are not the best at boxing or wrestling. But wrestlers and boxers are probably not the best at programming a computer. We're all all different. So I'm not singling out the Jews and calling them greedy or power hungry. I am simply pointing out that they have a characteristic that predisposes them toward the type of activity that they engage in. Jews are drawn to money the same way as young black men in the ghetto are drawn to a basketball court. You don't have to force them into doing it. You don't have to train them to do it. They're inclined to do it. It happens. So again, I don't believe that there is a conspiracy of a Soviet empire or socialist empire to take over the world. I believe there is somewhat of a conspiracy among the have-nots to gain power and to redistribute the wealth. I believe that. Just the same as the Palestinians will forever attack the Jews. And when the Jews attack back and get the upper hand, the Palestinians call a ceasefire and retreat. It's a folly for the Israelis to allow the attackers to retreat again, because they should know that the Palestinians will regroup, reorganize, get their ammunition together, their rockets together, their plans together, and then when they're strong enough, they will attack again. If you want to prevent this replay of history, the next time you get them on the run, the wise thing to do, the logical thing to do, if you have the guts and the hardness of heart to do it, is to exterminate them. The very next time they attack, be prepared to pursue them all the way to hell. That's what Moses taught the Israelis to do way a long time ago, and they didn't do it. The United States should follow the same policy, but frankly, the Israelis and the people of the United States, the original founders of the United States, are just simply not that cold-blooded. We simply want to be left alone. And we only react to an attack when it comes. The enemies are continually scowling and complaining and pointing the finger and grumbling and getting their plans together to get us whenever they have the opportunity to. And it's just going to be a continual problem based on human nature. The good guys need to go ahead and kick ass, but they can't, and that's why they're good guys. The bad guys need to get on with their lives and do something with their lives instead of planning to attack and kill their imagined enemies. But they won't. Such is human nature. So this problem will likely persist for a while.